Hi everyone, today I am presenting my work on predicted brain multigraph population from a single graph template for boosting one-shot classification. This work has been done at Basira Lab by myself and supervised by Dr. Islam Rekic. The problem we want to solve is how to generate multi-view brain graphs from a single-view graph template. More precisely, we want to augment new brain multigraphs using only a single-view connectional brain template, namely a CBT. I am going to mention about the studies related to data augmentation and one-shot learning on brain graphs. One of them proposed an automated data augmentation approach for one-shot segmentation of brain MRI scans. However, this study doesn't make use of powerful graph neural network architectures. Another study used a one-shot learning GNN architecture for brain connectivity classification and evaluation prediction using a single connectional brain template. Nonetheless, this work doesn't resort to any data augmentation strategies or generative models to better uncover the data distribution. Any of the state-of-the-art models didn't tackle the problem of generating multi-view brain graphs from a single-view brain graph. To address these challenges, we propose MultigraphGNet. In a nutshell, we first represent the multigraph brain connectome as a stack of adjacency matrices, where each view sits on a different manifold and captures a specific relationship between the anatomical brain regions of interest. Then, we want to generate a holistic connectional brain template, CBT, that integrates the multiple views into a single view. This problem has been solved by the Deep Graph Normalizer, RDGN network. Then, we want to reverse map that brain template to the original multi-view graph. This allows us augmenting new multi-view brain graphs using only one representative brain graph template. To do so, we propose our novel neural network architecture that we call Reverse Deep Graph Normalizer, RDGN. Our framework has three key features. We train it in an end-to-end and cyclic manner such that in one optimization step we try to minimize the DGN loss between the CBT and the original views, as well as the L1 loss between the reconstructed and original views. Thus, the RDGN network is able to reconstruct the original views from the CBT, and we can use it as a one-to-many augmentation framework. I am going to give an overview of Deep Graph Normalizer network. For more information, you can read the paper and watch the YouTube video. DGN first represents the multiple views as an edge attribute tensor. The model propagates the edge attribute tensor and an initial node embeddings vector through three graph convolution layers to learn the embeddings for each node. Then, the output attributes are applied to a series of differentiable tensor operations, such as horizontal replication, transpose, absolute difference, and semi-allowable depth, to construct a subject-specific CBT. Now I will explain the architecture of our RDGN network and how it reconstructs the multiple views from a CBT. In each iteration of the optimization process, the encoder takes the learned CBT and applies same convolution operation 2 times, each followed by a value nonlinearity and a batch normalization layer. To downsample the resulting feature map, we use a match spooling layer. The number of output channels is doubled at the end of each downsampling step. We repeat this process 4 times to get the feature map with 124 channels. In the decoder part, we first upsample using a transposed convolution layer that halves the number of output channels, which is followed by a concatenation to ensure that the resultant feature map is in the correct shape, and we make use of the strip conventions idea. Then, we apply the same convolution operation twice as in the encoder. This process is repeated 4 times as well. The final layer consists of a 1-by-1 convolution layer that outputs the reconstructed views of the subject. As you can see, the RDGN network follows the popular UNet architecture. To use our framework as a one-to-many augmenter, we first need to obtain a CBT for each subject using the trained DGN network. This process fuses multiple views into a single view graph. Then, we take the element-wise median of all the CBTs to get a global CBT that is representative for the whole set of subjects. Then, we take the global CBT and we sample a small noise matrix from the normal distribution with the mean and standard deviation of the global CBT. We create a new matrix by element-wise adding noise to the global CBT and feed it into the trained RDGN network to obtain an augmented sample. In each augmentation step, we sample a new noise matrix and augment a different sample. In our experiments, we used 150 normal control and 150 autism spectrum disordered subjects from the above dataset, where each subject included 6 different views of morphological brain connectums. T1-weighted MRI images of left cortical surface was split into 35 regions of interest for each subject. To evaluate the effectiveness of our framework, we used 5-fold cross-validation 5 times with different splitting seeds so that we made sure about the generalizability of our approach. In each fold, we trained 2 independent SVM classifiers using a single global CBT for each class and using the samples augmented by our trained RDGN network. We augmented 10, 25, and 50 samples and reported the average accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 scores. Here we present the comparison between 2 approaches, training using only 1 global CBT from each class and training using the samples augmented by our RDGN network. To further test the generalizability of our model, we repeated the 5-fold cross-validation 5 times with different seeds. While one-shot CBT is considerably enough to distinguish between AST and normal control subjects, our framework further boosts the independent classifier performance in accuracy, recall, and F1 score by augmenting multiple multi-view brain connectums using only 1 single-view CBT. In conclusion, we propose the first work on generating multi-view brain graphs from a single-view brain graph template. As our major contributions, we present a hybrid cyclic GNN architecture for multi-view brain graph augmentation from a single CBT, and we show that the augmented brain multigraphs can boost the performance of an independent classifier across various evaluation metrics. In our future work, we will assess the generalizability of RDGN with different neurological disorders, such as Alzheimer's disease. Also, RDGN can be further boosted by adding a discriminator network to the UNet under an adversarial learning paradigm. Feel free to check our recent review paper on GNNs in Network Neuroscience, covering recent GNN architectures for brain connectivity integration, classification, super resolution, and more. You can also visit the GitHub repo of the paper. For more, please visit us at basira-lab.com. Thanks for your attention.